So let me continue my stuff with you because I'm recording with my phone and my phone is even complaining of memory full now. I think I need to charge some things away. When I tell people that these people just came, gave you this hula balloon, remove the chain from your neck, from your hands, and from your leg, and put it in your brain. It's same as if we're talking rubbish, you know. But this is the truth. These are things that can be questioned. Why would the Lord? There's nothing. All these people, what was their crime? The crime of all these people that were asked to be robbed. They didn't follow God. They are not following God. The Israelites that are following God, every atrocities every other persons or every other tribes or territories are committing, the Israelites committed more than that. There is this great-great-grandchild of Solomon and David named Manasseh. When the Israelite territory was split into north and south, it was due to what? The same place that God owned. They are fighting each other. They split their town territory into two, the northern and the southern part of Israel. One of the king, and inside the north even have kings, not just one king. They have many kings. And likewise the south. Out of one of the king of the north called Manasseh, used to use firstborn child to appease a god as sacrifice. God, you don't ask those people who are living under his reign or under his realm to be plunged of all their things, all their belongings. It is other people who are not following him that are not the Israelites. So this indicates that the Lord, or the God of heaven and earth, according to the Christian text, is a biased God, is a God that is, they practice nepotism, even far more than any Nigerian politician. Far more than Buhari, because there is no president that practices nepotism that is more nepotistic than so-called Muhammadu or whatever Buhari, that his name sound like Muhammad or whatever. All this rubbish thing. The religion has really hit it deep. And if you want to pay attention to what I'm teaching this morning or what I'm talking about this morning, just pick the book of Deuteronomy, go to chapter 20, or even read the whole scripture, read Genesis to Revelation. And pay attention. Don't read it with your Christian mind. Pay attention with a plain mind. And begins to question. You begin to ask a lot of questions. Another one that I got from Korah, is it absolutely possible to adopt? Okay, I think I've read this one earlier. And this is another quote I like to put out there. It was addressed to Rowan Atkinson. I'm sure many of you might not know the name Rowan Atkinson, but you know him as Mr. Bean. It was written beside his picture here. I believe he was the one who quotes this. He said, "What is wrong with inciting intense dislike of a religion if the activities or teachings of that religion are so outrageous, irrational, or abusive of human rights that they deserve to be intensely disliked?" Perhaps Rowan Atkinson must have been a Christian. Perhaps I don't know. I've not really did so much research on him. But if he's speaking from a Christian side, I think he's referring this to the Islam. But me, I'm taking his quote and I'm referring it to the religious people generally, both Christian, both Islam, any other silliness that they practice called religion. Because a lot of people do not even understand that there is a thin line between religiosity and spirituality. Spirituality exists. It's like the study of some knowledgeable things that are beyond human comprehension, beyond the physical realm, that can be invoked to probably perform some specific task according to how you have directed them. In Africa now, we have so many deities, spirituality, things that even in the past, science can be seen as this. Because out of all the spirituality, science is the greatest. In the past, when they are called wizard. Everybody who practice science, mixing solutions together, forming different solutions, discovery of the earthling discovery of atoms, catalysts, all sort of things that elude human knowledge, human comprehension, that people now mix together, brimstone and stuff. They are called the Magi of that time, magician, Magi. That's his short name. And They are more like the wizard, the witches of those times who practice magic. You know, there was a time, if you watch Merlin, all these movies and series explain this in a broader perspective, even far more than what I would have explained. You'll be able to visualize it because the movie resonates more with you, and you will even relish it. But if you pay attention to everything that is being put out in more a series like Merlin, you'll be amazed at how long we're coming from, and scientists have been banned or abolished, sometimes extradited away from a country or from a territory to another, just because they are said to have been practicing magic. So if somebody in Africa now say he has juju, like the white people used to call it juju, and he wants to go and face a man of science and technology, that man doesn't stand a chance. Because there's no amount of juju that you can put in your body that can stand against C4 or stand against AK-47, AK-49, AK-51, AK-52, and all those artilleries. There's no amount. So the discovery of, because science and technology can help a country nuke another country that is heavily spiritual. So your spirituality is nothing compared to what science have discovered. It's only in Nigerian movies you'll be watching one idiot called Zubi Michael. They are being shot in movies saying, or they she. In reality, have you ever seen AK-47 tested on someone before? And people will pick such information from movies and run with it as if they will not tell them that all these things are fictions or it's not reality. There's no amount. If you see the way AK-47, someone who had witnessed being shot with AK-47 almost died, was traveling from Lagos to Ibadan. On their way was with his two brothers in his car, and he didn't even know the brothers could not drive. So they on their way they met robbers who were hiding behind the bush. When those ones tried to stop them, he swerved away from their roadblock, and then drove away. They shot with him AK-47. He said when he was narrating his story, he said he only heard the shot once. He didn't even know that 3 bullets came out. One went through the door. He showed us the door hole. One went through his finger. He showed me the finger. There's a hole in his finger here that came out here. He didn't know he was still driving. All of a sudden, after like 2 minutes, he discovered that he's feeling moist. His hand is feeling moist. Before he knew it, he realized that 2 of the bullets passed through him. One shot through the hand, one shot through the leg. He did not even know. With his weight, the speed through which bullet runs out of gun. 2 bullets hit him and he only had 1 shot. When they got to a place where he parked, he could not drive again. The brothers who could not drive, the idiots, grown-ups brothers who could not drive, they were shouting help. It was some policemen or some army who were passing by who rescued him from Ibadan down to an hospital at Ile-Ife or whatever, if I am not mistaken. If I still remember the story correctly. I was going to the office one day when the man picked us up. We were now talking about risk of driving, and that was when he showed us the evidence. This is not some ASA. He showed us the bullet hole was still in his hand. He was going to Edo to meet his wife, who just gave birth to. The wife was still in the hospital, who just gave birth to a baby boy. And he was driving from Lagos, where he was working, with 2 of his brothers who could not drive. He was shot. The police had to tell him that it was even lucky. The robbers must have been low on bullets. That's why the AK-47 was not put in auto. That if it was put in auto, that one shot that he had, it might be 12 bullets that will be running out from it at the same time with the speed of light. How you want to escape 12 bullets? Let me see. So if you are even saying that, and there's this babalawo in this country, wow, we are so embedded with spirituality, yet the white people who you claim that doesn't have voodoo power as much as Africa came here. They are influencing us. They are attacking us on a daily basis. They have taken us as their slaves, and we still remain slaves till tomorrow. And yet they don't have voodoo. And if they want to kill us, all they need to do is just to poison our food, and that is it. And they will even bribe our so-called custom that will allow this food to come in, bribe the NAFDAC that was supposed to check. The country is in a mess, and we are so religious. If that is not the utmost stupidity, I don't know what else you call that one. So there's another one here that said, why does First John chapter 5 verse 20 says, whoever claims to love God yet hates a brother or sister is a liar. One Bible verse says that whoever claims to love God and hates a brother and a sister is a liar. Another Bible verse in the book of the Old Testament, the Ecclesiastes, in the chapter 3 verse 8 says that there is a time to love and a time to hate. The same Bible. Though for me, I can argue, I help the Christian people out here that Judaism book is different from Christian book, because Christian books start from Matthew to Revelation, while Judaism book, which is another religion entirely, start from Genesis and it ends in Malachi. And that Malachi is where they put your brain that you must pay tithes. And the book of Galatians chapter 3 verse 10 explain why you should not, because if you are doing one out of the 613 laws, you have to fulfill everything. The moment you miss one, you are guilty of the whole other 612. There is no going back. And the Galatians chapter 5 verse 1 to 4 already proved that it's either you are under your so-called Christ who have come to give you liberation, or you are under the curse of the law. Go and read the book of Galatians chapter 5 verse 1 to 4. It says, stand firm in the liberty that Christ has given to you. Paul tells you that anyone who redeems salvation through circumcision, Christ will profit such person. Just go and read it. You'll discover what was written. I didn't write the Bible, it was written. But I can tell you that there are thousands of Bible contradictions. A place where they will say somebody as no one can see God, no one have ever seen God. Another place they will say only Moses have seen a glimpse of him. Abraham saw him when he came, when he said the Spirit of the Lord came. What's it called? Brother Jacob, that should be called Brother Bernard, also saw him. The one that his name was turned to Israel. This same Israel, God of Israel, that will say, hear the word of the Lord. That's what was written in the Bible. And the reality now, they are using artilleries to finish their enemies. They play. So the person who responded to this responded by saying, because the Bible being a book of mythology, history, and legend generated over thousands of years by widely disparate people, is filled with contradictions and error. It is tough to maintain continuity even in small projects like the Marvel Cinematic Universe or Star Trek, written by a small group of writers over a period of decades by people who mostly know each other. Of course, the Bible is filled with contradictions. I mean, look at Luke chapter 14 verse 26 that says that if anyone comes to me and does not hate father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, yes, even their own life, such a person cannot be my disciple. See, contradiction.